Limited supply and ever-increasing demand. That's a great recipe for a fantastic investment.
Hey, Frank Baker here with the Lakefront Group. Today we have Hunter Crone and Hagen Cole, and we're going to talk about lake houses. Why are lake houses so darn expensive?
Well, it's an easy one. God's not making any more water, so we only have a finite amount of land around these lakes, and demand around here continues to grow as New Braunfels is growing, Seguin's growing, Austin's growing, and we still get all the folks from Houston that are coming this direction, and South Texas as well. So we have people coming from everywhere. There's only so many of them that are on the market any given time, any given year, and again, the dirt here has just gone up and up and up lately. So
Definitely.
You hit the nail on the head. They're not making any more of it, so if you can own a limited quantity of something that everybody else wants, that's what drives the prices up, and that's why we see so much appreciation.
Well, you know, and I grew up in the Houston area, and the lakes around there were brown. I mean, everything was brown.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this water. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So the demand for this area coming to Central Texas to get on these beautiful lakes, you know, has skyrocketed.
Exhibit A as to why people want to move here, it's February 1st, and we're sitting out here in shorts.
A good point.
So
Very good point.
We're at my house right now, and that's a funny point, just because a lot of times, you know, if you don't like the houses on the market, you're like, well, I'm going to just buy a lot and build what I want. Well, my house here, I had to buy a house and tear it down to build what I wanted, where I wanted to, because there was no lots available. It's nearly completely developed, so you don't have the option of buying the neighboring property and get their ideas like you do in like those acreage communities. You know, they can take the kitchen from this one and the game room from this one and buy the lot next door and combine it. You can't do that here.
some of the smaller lakes you can still, find a lot for 200, 250,000, but I get this question a lot, obviously working with buyers, and I'll send them a listing or talk to them about a certain house and it's 750,000. They look at it and go, oh my gosh, like what is it? I said, well, the lot's worth 600,000. So, by the time you only put another 150,000, if you have a boathouse, and a retaining wall, there's another 100,000. So you're talking about a house that might be a complete tear down in a prime location that's 750,000.
Yeah.
On one of the larger Guadalupe lakes, that is. So.
And I know you probably do this because I do it on the selling side when I'm doing it for a listing, is I actually do a market value, but I'll also look at it from a cost perspective of, okay, this house is 25 years old, it's depreciated this amount, the land's worth this, what's the property? So I look at it from an angle of, okay, what if somebody did have a vacant lot and would they accept a house that's already standing as opposed to going through the building process, and how much money could they save? So if you don't make it, enticing enough, they're going to want to level the house like you did or find a vacant lot.
It's a challenge. I mean, again, to your point, you're talking about, buying a lot and leveling it. I can count on probably one hand right now how many vacant lots we have on Lake Dunlap, Lake Placid, and Lake McQueenie combined.
Yeah.
So, if you're wanting to build, you're going to have to likely consider buying and tearing down.
You're probably going to end up paying a little more for that lot if you do, in fact, level it.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to have to demo it, and now you're going to build a new home. So it's going to get could get expensive.
Your best buyer for something like that is somebody that actually plans on using that house for 2 to 5 years before tearing it down. Yeah. And so they don't want to build right away, but the one buyer that you really don't want a lot of times is the one that wants to tear it down, unless that buyer is willing to pay that little bit of a premium. But again, limited supply, ever increasing demand. If you overpay for a lot of times just wait about 6 months to 2 years, and the market
probably
catches up.
Then you don't feel. I mean, I've sold a number of places just like that where it doesn't look like such a great property at the onset, but it's not their dream house now, but their goal is to build in the next 5 years. And if you're only paying $150,000, $200,000 for that structure, to your point, by the time you go to level that house and go build, you've probably caught up, and you're not shooting yourself in the foot by having paid what you did, because your land's worth it at the time that you're tearing your house down and rebuilding.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's not. I use your purchase here as an example to people all the time. That what you paid for, you thought at the time you overpaid, but that was 15 years ago, and now it's 6 times, 7 times what you paid for it. So, it's all in, like you said, are you going to use it? You're going to be there a while.
I know you said 6 months to 2 years. I never like to look at it on that short of a basis.
Sorry.
I know you're exaggerating, but, but if you're looking at it and any investment, if it's 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, real estate really should be looked at.
Well, when you hit a nail on the head. When I built my place, I overbuilt for the lake, and I didn't care. I wanted to build what I wanted to build, and I knew the lake would catch up. But now, to your point, my whole package, I could get, multiple times what I have into my property. And at the time, if I would have built it and put a for sale sign in the property, I would have lost a few $100,000. Yeah. So it's a long-term game. Again, 6 months, 2 years is probably too short of a time frame, but
I just try and set realistic expectations for my buyers.
Yeah, a little bit of exaggeration there.
6 months. Hyperbole.
Waterfront, again, limited supply, ever increasing demand, great investment. So even though they are expensive, they're going to be way more expensive tomorrow. A little bit of exaggeration there. But if you're looking to buy or sell a waterfront property, please reach out to us at the Lakefront Group. Have a wonderful day.